Main event. Undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. Stop me if you've heard me before talk about this. Last man standing match between the two behemoths. Big match. Final time ever. Regardless of whether... Listen, I am looking forward to it. One, because we'll be there. Two, because it's still a big match, dude. I do not want to see this again. I don't. I cannot emphasize that enough. It's dumb. Like, build new stars. I know the original plan was Roman and Randy.
Still
Randy
no
was
big
hurt.
stars.
What'd you say?
Still not building new stars.
No, still not building new stars. And just give someone new the spot. I don't know. That would have been a great attraction. We just saw this at fucking WrestleMania, and I don't think the problem here... out of the gate, I won't even beat around the bush. Roman, I think, is going to win. But... my thing is, there's no... It's a lose-lose. Because if Roman wins, Brock loses again, dude. He loses again. He came back at SummerSlam last year, okay? First match back at Crown Jewel, lost. Comes back in the Rumble, won the WWE title at day one, okay? For a reign that lasted 3 weeks. He loses to Bobby at the Rumble. Next singles match he had, he lost. He won the Rumble, and he won the Chamber match, okay? But then he lost to WrestleMania. So he's 0-2 to Roman in recent months, in the last year. Does he go 0-3? Does he lose clean? He didn't lose clean at WrestleMania, and if he doesn't lose clean again, then it's like, all right, then the feud's going to continue, even though they said this would be the last time ever. And they're still saying that. If Brock wins, I think that's even worse, because Brock should not be a part-time champion. We already have a part-time champion in Roman Reigns. Brock would be even less part-time. Actually, we don't fucking know, because he was on SmackDown every week when he was champion late last year. And earlier this year as well as WWE champion, whatever. So, yeah, I don't know, dude. I really don't know what they're going to do. And I think Roman's going to win. I do not think Theory's going to cash in. That's my other question for you. But how are you feeling about this whole thing, this main event for tonight's SummerSlam?
No, I mean, I think it is a double-edged sword. I mean, Roman winning, he wins. Brock loses again. The thing with Brock is, I feel like he could eat, 100 pinfalls. It's not going to change anything. The way they present him, it's always going to be, the beast, the badass. I think the casual person he loses the Roman. I just don't think people kind of put 1 to 2 to 3 together. So it's to us, we know he keeps losing. To the normal person, he'll come out, do the fucking fireworks, the big beast. They put him over as the greatest thing ever. Yeah. So I don't really think that's the problem. I don't think he'll win. I hope to God he doesn't win. I think that'd be worse than Roman retaining. I think Roman wins. I think there'll probably be a tease of a cash-in. I don't think it's going to happen. If they want to make a splash, they could have Theory win, get headlines, and immediately drop the belt to Roman, tomorrow night or Friday. Because they keep saying that the plan is Roman versus Drew at the Castle show. I just feel like the whole 2-belt thing is, maybe they could somehow, lose one of the belts or something.
Hopefully.
I think that would ideally be, if anything, ideally, have Theory beat him, and then they do something on Raw or SmackDown. It's for one of the belts. Yeah. And then Roman beats him. And then Theory has one belt, and Roman has the other belt, and then they go with that direction of Castle. Because they need the main belt. They need one of the main belts on the show. People can say it doesn't matter, but it does. Because, it ruins the flow of the show, and it just doesn't seem that important. It's just, especially with a 3-hour Raw, it's they just make shit up at this point.
They're fighting for nothing at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So, theoretically, I'd want him to cash in and get one of the belts or both the belts or something. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, the problem is I honestly don't think now is the time. He's lost every fucking match he's had for the last month.
Yeah, but that's the point.
It's not the point. They shouldn't be doing that stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's the point is, maybe Roman's not expecting it because he's got his hands full with Ziggler and Madcap Moss and Drew and Brock and Roman.
I know.
It's theoretically, it's oh, he won't cash in. He's got so much other shit on his mind. Cashes in. Him and Heyman have had some kind of connection on TV lately as well. So maybe that's how you get the ascension of the bloodline. Maybe Heyman kind of sides with Theory. He's the new guy. You're too busy with Hollywood. Yada yada yada. I think at the end of the day, Roman retains. Or if there's a cash in, it won't be successful, and then we move on.
I guess, but it's just one of those things where I think, Theory's busy, like you said. And that's fine. I like the fact that he has multiple enemies right now. I just think he's not even young. I just don't think he's ready. And the fact he's lost a lot, it doesn't make the title feel important. Roman has been undefeated for almost 3 years now. I feel like when he eventually loses, it's got to be a big deal to a big name. And I'm not talking about Brock Lesnar. My question always is, who will benefit from Roman's reign? If no one benefits from Roman's reign, then why the fuck was he champion for as long as he has been?
Theory could if he beat him.
Yeah, but I just don't think he's ready for that spot. I mean, I know
He's never ready.
I know him.
Roman wasn't ready originally.
When?
When he originally won the belt.
In 2015?
He was not ready in that time.
He was more ready than Theory is right now.
Yeah, I just feel like...
Roman was not losing on TV every fucking week.
I just feel...
Theory was just a piss deal a month ago.
Okay.
I don't like that.
I mean, I think when people say, oh, they're not ready, no one's ever ready. Like,
there's not a time in the day.
There's never a time, exactly.
But
So
I would at least wait, dude. I do not want to see anyone cash in. I mean, we already saw the women cash in very quickly. I'd rather see him hold on to it and benefit from holding that briefcase for at least, like, through WrestleMania.
I mean, I agree. I just think if you're going to do it, the perfect timing would be now. But
All right, I think the perfect time would be Mania.
The thing is, you just don't know. Like, you say that, but then, like, 3 months down the line, when Roman's still champion, then you're complaining that he's not on the show, and it's like...
Well, here's the thing. I'm willing to bite the bullet and wait until Cody comes back. I know that's January Mania, dude. I understand that, but I'd rather... Listen, there's no one ideal situation. I completely agree. I'm going to be complaining regardless. That's just what I do.
There you go,
This show's
exactly.
called WrestleRant Radio. But what I'm saying to you is, if there's one route I would prefer, like, would I rather, like, would you rather do this or that? Like, fucking one of those stupid questions. For me, I'd rather endure Roman being champion for, like, X amount of days, so he's champion for 3 years. At least then I know he's going to lose it to someone who I think is more ready than Austin Theory. Who I like a lot. If he wins the belt tonight, I'd be like, okay, that's cool. I would think, I don't know if I would have done that, but it's, I'm happy for him, but I'm like, I think it's too soon. I'm of two minds of the whole thing. We'll see what happens. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't.
I mean,
does Brock win again? Or
No.
No, not that. Does Roman win again? And then that's it? That's what happened at Mania. That's what happened at Survivor Series. That's what happened at WrestleMania the year before. People are waiting for that post-credit scene. We got one last year. It happened to Brock Lesnar when he came out. Do we get The Rock? Do we get John Cena coming out? I don't think we will. I think people get their hopes up way too high. I was in that camp at WrestleMania. Oh, shit, The Rock's coming out. The Rock's going to be here in fucking Texas to set up Mania next year. Didn't show up. Nothing. No, not even a single word that Rock would be there. That, to me, was disappointing. I don't even get my hopes up that high. I thought for fucking fact Roman Reigns would be confronted by The Rock. And it didn't happen. I don't think that match is happening at this point. The pessimist in me is saying that it's not. But anyway, I think Roman wins, LOL, and the show's over.
you don't think there's even going to be a hint of a cash-in? At all?
Yeah, because the story around that has been that he would cash in. So yeah, there could, yes. I think I could see Theory potentially cashing in or trying to, and then Dolph thwarts the attempt. Or Rollins, maybe.
But why, though? That's the thing, why would
Why
Dolph...
Rollins? Or why
Dolph?
Because he doesn't want Theory to become champion. He's jealous.
But that's not a babyface thing. That's a heel. It's something a heel would do.
What, prevent him
Stop
from cashing in?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but
I don't know. I mean, I think realistically we're getting way too into it. Roman's going to win and nothing's going to happen.
I know.
That's what's going to happen.
We're overanalyzing it, yeah.
I mean, I'd fucking pop. I know that for a fact. I mean...
Pop of what?
Theory, cash in.
Now you're the only person in the press box cheering your head off because I think... Listen, I like Theory. I think we like Theory more than a majority. A lot of people do not give a fuck about that guy. I don't really understand why. I think he's improved. There's been personal stuff there that I understand from a character standpoint. I think he is the future, but again, that's just me and that's just you, so whatever. But I don't think now's the time. I'm somewhere in the middle there.
So how about, if he was winning a lot lately, would that change your mind?
A little
on
bit,
TV, he was winning a lot, won Money in the Bank, continued the momentum, and then he cashed in. Would you be more on board with him winning or cashing in than what his current situation is?
Would I be more on board with it? Yes. Would I still want him to not cash in tonight? Yes. That would not change.
So you're basically saying don't cash in because you think, you think that Roman should hold the belt until Cody comes back.
Not even that necessarily. I just think if there was someone right now, if there was someone else that made as much sense as Cody right now, then I would do it. But like Drew, honestly, okay, again, this is where we go like, all right, what do you prefer, what do you don't prefer? What I prefer is Drew taking the title. If Cody's not an option, and I want him to be, if Cody's not an option, it's between Theory and Drew. Honestly, I know you're going to disagree, I think it should be Drew. Because at least Drew has never beaten Roman before. He could do it in his hometown of Scotland or whatever the fuck it is for Clash of the Castle. That'll be a big show. People would be happy to see it. It would be in front of a crowd. He didn't win the championship in front of a crowd the first time. I think that would make for a better scenario overall, and we know Drew works as a champion. Are you creating a new star? No. But to me, it checks more boxes than Theory cashing in tonight successfully. it makes me happy. It's like, oh, it's a fresh face as champion, but the booking hasn't really been there. And long term, I mean, what do you even do with the guy? Do you do Theory and Dolph for the championship on the next pay-per-view?
I mean, I think you could also do, if you, like you could do a scenario that Theory cashes in, and then you could do him, Roman, and Drew at Crash.
Well, that's another thing, too, if Theory cashes in.
Whatever the dumb thing is.
If that's the name, if that's what they're going to do, Theory versus Drew, I don't think. That's not a summer. Or
I'm saying you could have Theory, Roman, a three-way. You Roman,
Yes.
Theory, and Drew. Drew beats Theory, so Roman doesn't get pinned.
So then Theory's champion for a month. I don't like that at all. This is why I'm saying I would wait until next year. Maybe the landscape's a little more different. Theory can have a nice little reign. And I would not. I think the rushing into it and then taking the belt off in a month, he would be labeled as a failure.
But like
I don't want to see that.
But like I said, that maybe they could do something like that, actually split the belts up, and he loses one of them.
Yeah, it depends on how they split it up. Losing one of them?
Yeah. Like say that he wins both belts. They do something at
Who
Clash
wins
of
one of them? Theory?
Theory wins both the belts.
Yeah.
They go.
Go ahead, sorry.
They go to Clash of the Castle. Somehow, like, Heyman does something. Oh, this is only for... Because Heyman's... Like, I would assume if he cashes in, Heyman's going to be some alignment with him.
Sure.
I think that's already a sign. Like, I think that's going to happen. So then maybe when you go to Clash Castle, they're like, oh, it's going to be an undisputed title. Oh, well, no. When we did this is only for the Universal Championship. He loses that. Then they just put that on that show, and then he goes to the other show. I think theoretically, that's what I want to say. Because the 2 champion thing sucks. And it's not good. Especially with the 3-hour Raw. It's terrible.
You mean having one champion with both belts? Is that what you're saying?
It's awful.
Oh, okay.
They need to split it up.
Okay.
They need to split it up and have 2 different champions. And I think that would be the perfect direction to get in that way. So then, like I said, he loses one belt. He can keep the other one. Do I know what you do with them? No. But, I mean... The 2, like you said, you would wait it out. I'm kind of over the whole Roman thing. I like Roman, but him holding both the belts has killed the quality of both shows.
Yep.
And
especially lately.
And I would try to get at least one of them off. Whoever has the belt, even if Theory won both belts, I would want one of the belts off him immediately.
Okay.
AKA at Clash of the Castle,
yeah.
Or SmackDown, or Raw, or something. Just get one of the belts off of him because it needs to be separate, right?
That makes sense.
But like I said, Roman's going to win the night, Theory's going to come out, not cash in, and then we're going to laugh it off and go home.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
I would prefer that over Theory becoming champion. That's just me. That's just me. I think that's what's going to happen. So, if you smell, that's not happening either. You can't see me? Nothing? Stone Cold?
Stone Cold!
They got to temper the expectations.